name is Carrie Fleming, and I want to welcome you to our first videotaping to share some wonderful recipes for your picky eater. And today I am going to be making pumpkin waffles with a variety of toppings that you can share with your children and hopefully involve them in your kitchen as you're making your breakfast with the pumpkin waffles. So today we will start with our dry ingredients as we begin to make the pumpkin waffles. Now I'm sure many of you that are listening today and watching, all of you may have some degree of a picky eater at home. And as a speech pathologist, I work with children with feeding needs, and we know it is a struggle to get our little ones to eat. And they refuse to eat, they refuse certain textures and certain colors. And so what I'm sharing with you today is something that you can easily make in the morning with your child, and being able to use a variety of different toppings so that they're enjoying their breakfast while you at the same time are supporting their pickiness in eating, but knowing you're giving them the nutrition that they're looking for. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mix together the flour, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger in this large bowl. So I will dump it all in. Now, one of the things when you have your picky eater and a child of any size, age, size, grade, involve them in the kitchen, involve them with you as you begin to make these things, because the more we get our kids involved, the more then they'll have that enjoyment to want to have a taste of what they're making. Involving them is so crucial. So we're going to use 3 teaspoons of baking powder. And this also from a language end, we're involving language. 1, 2, 3, some academics with counting. So much to do and involve our kids in when making some very simple things for our picky eaters. I'm going to then put in the 1/2 teaspoon of the baking soda. Dump that in. So from a language end, at the same time, we can say pouring, scooping, we're going to be blending. I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Add that in. This cinnamon also is a great way to get those olfactory system working, because have them smell it. It alerts them. It gives them a sense of, ooh, that might taste really, really good. So involve them in just the smelling, the tasting, and then the textures and the touching. It really makes for a fun time between you and your child. And again, involvement with the picky eater. Another 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg is a very potent smell. So that is really gonna send them to an alert and get them, their sensory system moving forward. Then a little bit of ginger. We're gonna do another teaspoon of ginger. All these are very healthy ingredients. So you should be comfortable as a parent knowing you're giving them really good, healthy ingredients. And I'm just going to take a whisk and I'm just gonna lightly blend it so that I know that I'm getting everything, the textures, the smells, the ingredients all mixed together nicely. So now I'm gonna put in here my eggs. So it calls for 2 eggs. Then I'm going to add the brown sugar. I have 1/4 cup, and I already have that blended here. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of sugar in there. And then I'm going to add in my pumpkin, which I already have scooped out. So this is a cup of pumpkin. I'm just gonna use my teaspoon, put it in here. So now when you're looking at this using language, look at it's gooey. Look at your colors, bright orange, yellow, brown, gooey. And the pumpkin even gives a nice smell. Then we're gonna add our milk. So I've improvised, I'm using a thermos of milk. And this was 1 2/3 cup of milk that we have in here. And I'm going to pour this in. And And look at the color change. Now we've done a little bit of a science experiment. I'm going to add my butter. So then, once I have this mixed up, I'm going to blend it in and fold it into the flour mixture. Okay, just make sure I have this consistency nice and right. Now, when we make our waffle today, you can make this as a pancake or a waffle, whichever you prefer. Today, for our purposes and travel purposes, and also to give you all a little look at when we're cooking for our picky eater, starting with things that are small and bite-sized gives the children a sense of ease. It's not so overbearing. So if you made a large pancake, that might be a little more intimidating. Making something small is a little more of their bite size, enjoyable. So what I have today is a mini waffle maker. You can get these at Amazon, very inexpensive, but fun to have around. Now it doesn't make the waffle the traditional waffle that you might get at the restaurant, but it gives it just that right size. So now that we have our waffle maker warmed up, and again, small is fun, and mine happens to have a little pumpkin shape, but you can find these on Amazon if this is of interest, or you can make it on your griddle with pancake mixture, whatever you choose. This is just for my demonstration. So I'm gonna use about 1/4 of a cup of a scoop, and I just place it in here, and sometimes I might need a little more just to spread it off if my batter's thick, which it is. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it down here for a couple seconds. And so now this is warm, so I would advise your picky eater maybe not touch this, but it's not going to necessarily burn them too much if they did, but we don't want them to do that. So this would be best for parental supervision, but leaving it on for just a couple more seconds, and I can hear it sizzling, which is nice because then your picky eater is listening, hearing, and smelling it as it's cooking and all that fun stuff, and having them involved again is so crucial. All right, and voila. So I will use this fork to scoop it off. This smells delicious. So I'm going to make a few of them right now because we have some picky eaters here in the Glen Allen location. So I will make them a little treat. But the fun part is over here on the side, I have some toppings, and this is what makes it fun for your picky eater. So I have some apricot jam, marshmallows, granola, some cranberries, some peanut butter, and some fruit. I have honey and syrup. So what a nice way to get all their senses, all their textures involved to meet the liking of your picky eater. So I'm hearing it sizzle. Again, there's that one. And I'll make one more. And the fun part is when you involve your picky eater, they get to determine if you have it displayed so that you have a variety of their toppings, they can pick to their liking for texture. So there are marshmallows that are the squishy, feeling. Some of the children like that in their mouth. Some don't. Some will immediately gag. Well, you probably don't want that available. The granola for your crunchy eater, the one that likes all the bites and the texture to crunch. And then the cranberries, some like the sweetness of that. And of course, if you're getting the fruit in and the berries, you can use anything, bananas, you can use peanut butter or even Nutella. The honey gives it a different sweetness they can dip in. And then I also have syrup and applesauce. So just a variety to be able to have available for your picky eater. I do want to unplug this. This does not have an on and off. It is a plug and unplug. So that's why I'm doing that. But again, allowing your picky eater to choose what they would like. Now this happens to be in the shape of kind of a pumpkin, but what you get is these are bite size and handle, and being able to handle them with 2 hands versus this large kind of quantity or visible pancake or waffle. That gets a little overwhelming. So having something small and bite size allows your picky eater to feel a little more ease and enjoy their breakfast or snack. You can make them for a snack. So enjoy making the pumpkin waffles as you see fit for your family and your picky eater. And we'll have this recipe available for you. And we hope that you enjoy your breakfast with your picky eater having pumpkin waffles. Thank you.